Let's talk about the current state of politics. We have this story from the Daily Mail. Oh boy. Dramatic moment. Hunter's lawyer told prosecutors sweetheart deal was off after judge eviscerated agreement. And apparently, one of the guys yelled out, I think this was Biden lawyer Chris Clark said, I don't know what you're trying to accomplish. Then we'll rip it up. He says you can't get around that. So basically what happens is they go in. Hunter Biden's supposed to plead guilty to this sweetheart deal where he gets a slap on the wrist and no jail time. The judge then says, well, hold on there a minute. This doesn't include any FARA violations, any potential FARA, this plea agreement. It's just tax evasion, right? So are you going to charge him later on? The prosecution says we could. Biden's lawyers are like, hey, no way, no way. The judge then's like, what's going on? Looks at the deal's off. They have to go. There's a recess. They negotiate. It looks like the deal might be back on. Now the deal's on hold. Here's what people are speculating. It seems that Hunter Biden's lawyers went to these prosecutors and the deal was they will not prosecute Hunter on anything if he just accepts these little charges and a slap on the wrist. It only says on paper these charges, but trust us, we're not going to come after you for anything else. But the judge asked the question. If the judge just rubber stamped it, it'd be done. And their backroom deal is done. But the judge was like, what about FARA? Well, the prosecution can't lie. It's a question of fact. Can you charge him? Well, we can. They get mad saying you're double crossing us. That's what it seems like. It seems like some shady backroom dealing to throw some red meat at the press and create a scenario where the media will say Hunter Biden pleads guilty. Look, the DOJ is not biased. They went after the president's own son. What do you mean they're going after Trump for political reasons? They went after the president's son. It's totally non-biased. But that backroom deal was no good when the judge spotted it.
What are the FARA violations? What's FARA?
Was it Foreign Agent Registration Act or something like that? That if you're acting on behalf of a foreign government, you have to register. Oh. And Hunter Biden was with Burisma and probably a bunch of other countries, and he did not.
Well, that's odd. You think I mean, personally,
if the judge didn't know this, and if they got any other judge, and that judge was like, looks in order to me, I guess, bang, done.
Wasn't Hunter Biden's computer full of pornography?
Well, yeah, of him.
No.
Yeah, so it's just the whole thing is obviously very, very sad. But it also just shows the state of the culture, right? That, the president, even the first family, right? The son is involved in all these things. And I think it's one thing to talk about tax evasion. It sounds like it happened and he's pleading guilty. But all of these other things, think about it. We don't, I think as a society, we're not hard on porn. We think porn's fine. Most people use it. It's not a big deal. It's legal. And so, Hunter Biden can do all this stuff and it's crazy. And then, but he did tax evasion. So that's the bad thing that he did.
This is crazy. Let me read this.
And all the stuff about prostitutes and strippers. And it's all dark stuff.
Noriko warned lawyers the deal was unprecedented and possibly unconstitutional and could prevent prosecutors from going after Biden for other crimes in the future. She insisted she was acting in Hunter's interest by making sure he knew exactly how much protection he would or would not get under the deal. But she also unloaded on it, sometimes in personal terms about the position it put her in as an arbiter. You keep telling me that I have no role. I shouldn't even be reading this thing, she vented. Her admonitions forced a tense negotiation after the judge left her courtroom. Teams of lawyers faced off in talks for an hour into the hearing. They had to hash out among themselves what exactly they had agreed to, then sell it to a judge who was increasingly skeptical. The end result ended in a politically perilous delay for Biden's campaign, set to be helmed from Wilmington in a state, blah, 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 blah. We get it. This is crazy that the judge was so shocked. The judge said the unprecedented nature of the agreement forced her to step in. But bizarrely, she also said she sympathized with Hunter. Mr. Biden, I know you want to get this over with, she told him at the end of the 3-hour slugfest, which had the effect of pushing off Hunter's plea and extending his legal woes into late summer and the fall as his father gears up his presidential re-election campaign. So maybe Roseanne was right about those military tribunals, right?
Interesting. I mean, it still blows my mind that he's gotten away with as much as he's gotten away with. That this is that he might be able to walk away from this with a plea deal. I don't have a whole lot more to add other than it's just really a black pill, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the most emperor has no clothes thing, and that what that metaphor is like everyone can see that the emperor's not wearing anything, but the emperor's telling people, "Oh, I'm wearing a robe," so everyone's like, "Yeah, he's wearing a robe," but they all know he's not, and then it's a little kid that's like, "He's not wearing any clothes." So like we all know Hunter Biden did this stuff. The evidence is there. I mean, I maybe we should say I don't know, but it is very apparent. There's a lot of evidence. And for Joe Biden just to be pretending that it's like not a big deal is the most insane abuse of power, legal authority, and executive authority in this country I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, I saw George Bush take the world to war because of weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen a president do. This is robbing our culture of the truth. It is not healthy. We need to change this.
War is pretty bad.
Yeah,
but it's been happening my whole life. This is like
That's
brainwashing people to be evil.
That doesn't make war less bad, but I get what you're saying. But
This is like, it's like so in plain sight, which makes it, in my opinion, more disgusting. It's like little kids are like, it's okay to lie.
Well,
Joe?